Welcome to the Reigniting 30s from surviving to thriving. I'm your host, Rich Wharton, and I'm excited to bring you this brand new podcast, which for me is something special because it's not just a podcast giving you tools, tips, information, inspiration, that drive, that cheerleader from the sideline, but it's also my journey. And this is all about my journey through my 30s, how my life has completely changed around. And I'll go into my story very shortly, but the big thing is I really want to connect with those people who are probably in their 30s right now. They feel undervalued, a lacking purpose, no real drive. Maybe they've got relationship issues, parenting issues, they're unhappy at work. They want more out of life. They feel unhappy with their body, all these different things. And funnily enough, when Spotify asked me what this podcast is about, and it had a long list, I could have easily ticked so many of them. And this is about life in general, because I think we get lost in life. I certainly did. My story will show this. Throughout this podcast, though, throughout the series that I'll be running, I'll be bringing on special guests, experts in their field to help you find that purpose, find that drive, be able to have tips and tricks to better your life, become more valuable to the workplace, maybe more valuable to your family life, and be able to give you that drive that you need to go and just be that 1% better. Because if that's all you're looking for, that's perfect. If you're looking for 100%, that's also perfect. But it's going to take a little bit more time to do that. So this is a real journey because I'm living this right now. And let me tell you a little bit about my story. So I had a great upbringing, great background. Left school at the age of 18 with A-levels. I decided university wasn't for me. I actually went away to Australia for a little bit to play some cricket, which was absolutely phenomenal. But when I came back, decided to work, I just fell into the emergency services. Didn't really know what else to do. And I thought it'd be fun. It's a stopgap. I've always been interested in the emergency services and helping people. And a big part of my life is all about helping people. So it just seemed to work for me. So I went for it. I started off in the police. I spent many years in the police, more than I care to imagine I would have done at that age. But hey, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed working within the police. I was helping people. It got to a stage where I thought I needed more. And I'm sure we've all been there in life where you just think, I need more out of life. I need a change. I need something different. And I used to change jobs every 2-3 years, and it's quite normal within an environment like the police that you jump around different departments and try different things. It's really quite common, actually. So I thought I needed a change. I needed something more. I wanted to give more, and I thought, I know what I'd do. I'd become a firefighter. I decided, you know what, I'll go and join the fire brigade. I'll be a firefighter. It's more giving. I thought it might be less politics. I thought it might be more valued because of the reputation that the fire brigade have, etc. So I thought this is the place to be. So I went and signed up. Did 6 years in the fire service. Had some great memories. Had some really tough times. Again, I was a firefighter in London. I was firefighting throughout COVID. That was a real weird sort of time. Lots of exposure to trauma and some not very nice things. And obviously this isn't a podcast to talk about that at all. Maybe later on down the line I'll open up that door. But for me, it was a change. I also had a kid in that time. I had 2 kids actually over my time. I've got an 8-year-old and a 3-year-old now. So that was midway through my service. I found it tough in the fire service, especially starting out. It was a real change. It was different to what I thought it would be. And it was a really interesting time of my life. I moved stations. I managed to start off in central London, then move further out to North London. Again, had some great experiences, had some great times, met some fantastic people, and built a lot of good friends. But the emergency services do have a massive impact on your life, more than you can ever imagine. Shift workers will know exactly what I'm talking about, because shift work has a massive impact on family life. Things like working night shifts and then having to sleep during the day. People don't quite understand that. Being a firefighter, people go, "Oh, you get to sleep at night." Yeah, you get to rest at night, but you're never really asleep because you're always half listening out for the bells to go down. So, and you've got to respond within moments. You've got to be out the door within 90 seconds. So you've got to get up, get out of bed, get changed, get to the fire engine, get on and go. And I was a driver as well, so I've then got to drive on blue lights, trying to race to an incident after being effectively asleep. There's some real challenges there, but what it did to family life was quite tough. Booking leave was another one. You couldn't just take time off. And if you work for yourself or in the private sector, maybe you can just take, one morning go, I'm not quite fancying this day, I'm just going to call in and just go, actually, I'm going to take a day's leave or whatever. It wasn't like that in the fire service. You had to be there. You had to book leave in advance. And I know people all around the emergency services would say, like, you have to book leave a year in advance. You had to plan holidays. You had to plan people's weddings or big events, etc. And if someone got in there before you, it's tough. You couldn't swap, you couldn't just go, I also want that leave, I'm going to be off as well. No, there had to be minimum numbers. So you couldn't just take time off when you want. It was very much I remember at the end of last year, I was just having to take leave for the sake of taking leave, because otherwise I'd lose it. So I was just taking random days off and random weeks off to do nothing. So it is quite a strange environment. If you've never been in emergency services, you probably won't get this next bit, but the dealing with trauma. And I will go into this quite a lot across these series and these episodes, because it does really define you. It really exposes you. The majority of people, or the average person, I should say, will only see one dead body in their life. When you're seeing dead bodies regularly, that has a massive, massive impact on you. So my life is very different to a lot of people. It's been dictated by a lot of different things, but I came to a point in my fire brigade's career where I thought, is this it? Is this my life? Like, I still wanted more. I still think I can help people on a bigger scale compared to the fire service. And I actually left the fire service back in October 2024. I had a great time. There was no hard feelings there. I had an opportunity to work in another role. And that unfortunately didn't work out, but it hit me of where I am in my life, and hence why creating this podcast, because I really thought to myself, wow, all those years of working and look where I am. I think of my family life. I'm currently going through divorce. I think to myself, I'm early 30s. Look at my family life. Wow, what happened there? I look at my parenting. Love my kids to bits. I've developed massively over my years as a parent. I was like a duck to water with my first, but when my second came along, I really, really struggled. I will go into a lot of this as well, because I think there's a lot of help for new parents here. But again, I thought to myself, wow, what happened? For me, this podcast is for everyone out there who is in their 30s, who's just not happy with something. There'll be something about in your life where you think, I could do more. I want more. I want better. I've got something to achieve, something to do. There's a certain goal I want to achieve. The beautiful thing about this is it's okay. It's okay to be wherever you are right now. It doesn't matter that if you're miles from where you want to be. The fact is that you've realized that you want to be somewhere else. And the best thing to do is just to stop, take that time and go, okay, I need to change. I want to change. If you've got to that stage and thought, yes, I want to make a change, congratulations. Well done, because you are making a difference to yourself. Most people will think, I need to change, and then do nothing about it. If you get to that point of going, I need to change and I want to change, you're more likely going to take action to actually make that change happen. And whatever it is, it's okay. It's okay to start. And the best place to start is to actually work out where you want to go. So let me give you an analogy here. I love an analogy, by the way. So I'll ping out a load of different analogy, and I'll explain where a lot of this has come from as well very shortly. But so analogy is, you know how people say, I want to change. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to start doing things to make a change. Perfect. They start making different changes, but they don't really know where they're wanting to go. If you imagine your car, you've got your sat nav in your car, and you just turn around and just went, I want to get somewhere, just somewhere better. And you start driving, there's no sense of direction. Or if you roughly know where you want to go, maybe a certain location, and you put that location in, but it's a massive city. Can you imagine you want to get somewhere specific in London and you go, don't really know where it is. I'll just put in London. I'll find it eventually. You're like, well, are you really going to find it? Probably not. It'll be very lucky to find it. So my idea with this is to really focus on what you really, really want. And people talk about goal setting. And I love goal setting because I love talking about goal setting as well, because it allows you to be imaginative. And I've heard so many different people talk about unlocking the inner child in you. And I think this came from a guy called Garen Jones, who I read his book, which was fantastic, a great book. And he has lots of different podcasts, and shout out to him, if you go and search some of his podcasts. But he was talking about unlocking that inner child. When we're a child, we just want to have fun. We want to enjoy. We do the things that we enjoy doing. If you watch a kid, if you've got your own kids or you've got family, do not go out and watch someone else's kids. You will not last very long and probably get arrested. So please don't do that. Yeah. If you watch your own kids, you'll realize that they do things. They make stories up. They play games. Have you ever seen kids with like dolls and stuff, and they're just playing and they're talking and they're having fun. They're having an enjoyment. They're imagining something. That's where you should be. Go and imagine something. Go and make something up in your head. Just do something really cool. Maybe sit out in the sunshine. Maybe luckily we've got sunshine here in the UK at the moment. Like, just hide yourself away for a little bit. Find somewhere quiet, maybe somewhere where it inspires you. Possibly that might be a good one. And just sit there and just really think and go, what would I like to do? And what would I like to achieve? What would I like to have? Where would I like to be? Who would I like to be with? All those different feelings. Just really imagine and just ramp it up. Just make it feel incredible and just write it down. Just write down whatever comes into your mind. And it doesn't matter what it sounds like, because you're not going to share this with the world. You're sharing this with the universe, which is within you effectively. Something like that anyway. My biggest thing is just dream. Just dream. Write it down and go, I want that. And there'll be some things that you write down and you go, that's not that important to me. But others will be really important. And then just write them out like you've achieved them. That's your goal. You've set a goal. And all you've got to think about is taking one step towards that goal each day. Whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be a big step. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be, let's say you want to become a multi-millionaire and you're currently broke. Perfect. You've set yourself a goal. Don't tell anyone that goal, because they won't believe you. If you're broke at this moment in time, they're probably not going to think you're going to be a multi-millionaire. But if you set that goal and you think, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that's where I want to be, and then start really believing that it's going to happen, all of a sudden you'll start doing things. Things will start happening around you just to line you up with that. And it will happen in a weird and wonderful way. It won't be a really straightforward way that you've come up with your head. It will just be a weird and wonderful way, but you'll start getting towards that direction. My life, late 20s actually, I was really unhappy as such. It was probably about 27, maybe 28. Just felt like I needed more. I was in the fire service, just wanted more, needed more. And I wanted to have something of my own, bigger impact. I've applied for jobs all my life about trying to help more people. And I thought, no, I've got to do this myself. And I'm one of those people that if there's something worth doing, I'm just going to do it myself. Like, you look around and go, who's going to do this for me? No one's there to do it for you. You just go, I've got to do this myself. So that's what I did. I decided I'll go and do this myself. Didn't know where to go. Ping Instagram message, and there was a guy there giving me an opportunity, a business opportunity within network marketing. Never really knew much about the industry, etc., but I went for it. I just thought, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to go for this. I'm going to see how it goes. And the best thing about it is that it unlocked the door to personal development and my personal development journey, which has been phenomenal. I do not recognize the person before that. I do not recognize the old me anymore. I cannot understand how I was the way I was, which was fascinating. I know people turn around and dislike network marketing. Some people absolutely love it. The best thing it gave me was a purpose. It gave me a journey to go on. It's given me the opportunity to learn and to practice new skills, learn new skills, practice new skills, give me knowledge, and it's unlocked the door to do bigger and better things. So I went for it. I spent 4 years maybe in one company. Then I switched to another company. Don't recommend doing it, but the company I'm with now is amazing. I absolutely love it. I'm helping people. I think it's fantastic. And it's great to do alongside other things as well. So you don't have to quit your job, start network marketing. You can do it alongside. You do it in your own free time. But the best thing about it is for me is that I just feel like I'm helping people, but I'm learning new skills as I go, and it's really expanding my mind. And the money's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like money coming in is decent. So if you're starting from zero and I've literally got nothing. I've got maybe a roof over my head and that's about it. I'm struggling to pay the bills, etc. Maybe adding network marketing's for you. And let's be honest, I don't think we can live properly anymore on just one income, especially in a household. I think people struggle. I know when my brother was trying to buy his house, it was a real struggle to get the mortgage, etc., because it was just him. Managed it in the end, but it took quite a long time and it wasn't particularly easy. So, and I know other people struggle like that. They need to live with a partner, just to get a mortgage effectively, and pay the bills. So yeah, great starting place. Unlock the door. I've tried lots of different things. I cannot tell you how many businesses I've started, and I'm only 33. And the best thing about it is you can just start these businesses. That, like, an idea comes into your head and you just go, yeah, that's the one. Every single business I've started, I've believed it's the one is going to make a difference. Obviously, they haven't gone completely to plan, and that's okay, because every time you do that, it's learning. And I hear so many entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, who talk about their business, what they've done, how they've created, etc. But a lot of them don't necessarily mention what they've started and didn't go well. And a lot of them actually do mention what hasn't gone well. They will tell you how many businesses they've tried and started. They will tell you how their business looks very different today than what it was when they first created it. Things change, people adapt. The world's changed around us, and the need's going to have to change. So there's so many things, that different variables that could happen. But the best thing to do is just to start. Start with a good idea, do a little bit of planning. Maybe don't just throw money at stuff which you haven't done any planning on. There's plenty of resources out there to do lots of different planning. Give it a go. You lose nothing for trying. There are going to be people around you who will, I'm going to say, hate on you. I'm going to go there. People do hate on you. People have always got an opinion. Another advice I'll give you: don't listen to people's advice from people you wouldn't trade places with. I did that. I listened to everyone's opinion. It drained me. Everyone's got a different opinion. I know full well that you've probably got a set of friends that you've had for a long time, and when you change and adapt, people don't necessarily like it. They go, you're changing, you're different. Maybe it's your relationship. I had that, hence why going through divorce. It was, you're changing, you're not who you were before, etc. And I think we are all always changing, but it can be difficult. You're going to have to, again, this is a quote that I heard from someone else. I'm not taking credit for this, but you're going to have to say goodbye to your old life to say hello to your new life. That's something you're going to have to come to terms with, is that actually, if you want better, if you want more, you're going to have to say goodbye to the old you to then invite the new you in. Be prepared for it. It will come. It's not necessarily easy. Just find people that light you up. And I strongly believe in the law of attraction. Great book, great film called The Secret. It explains the law of attraction really well. Pretty much it's all about, you get what you think about. If you ask the universe for something, it will give it to you. And that's what I strongly believe. The things that have happened in my life, I've asked for them effectively. in one way or another. I'm not turning around saying I asked for divorce. I didn't ask for divorce. I asked for a better version of me. Divorce came because of that. I haven't asked for effectively losing my job. But what I did do is I want to have the time to do more and help more people. So then I lost my job, which has given me the time to go and do that. I wanted to create more content. I started creating golf content, and I did it for fun. I effectively I asked the universe, I want to stop. I want to stop. I can't keep going on the way I was going. And this is only relatively recently. I didn't want to continue on the path that I was on, so I said something needs to stop. I need everything to stop. I can't do this anymore. So it stopped. It stopped it for me. It did exactly what I asked it to. Is it how I asked it to? No, of course I wanted the answers, but actually it's given me the time to think, what do I really want to do? Hence why I created a podcast. I want to be a professional speaker. I want to inspire people, be on stage. I love being on stage. I was a stand-up comedian for a little bit. Obviously, you knew that already because I'm incredibly funny. But no, I actually started stand-up when I was struggling mentally after my son was born. I just needed to laugh. I needed to smile, be happy, and just went on a course. And then someone said, well, why don't you just get up on stage and give it a go? And I thought, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. So I did a few gigs as a stand-up comedian. I'm not Jimmy Carr. I'm not Ricky Gervais. I am not going to be on your stage. I'm not going to have a Netflix special. I'm sure of it. But I enjoyed it. I made some people laugh. More importantly, I laughed. I had fun doing it. And sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes you just need to go and do something just to have a laugh yourself. I think that's a great way to start. By the way, if you've ever considered doing stand-up, do it. It's exhilarating. It is so much fun. Do a course, learn how to say jokes, because there's nothing worse than your jokes just flopping. I remember, I think it was like my second or third gig that I did. My first gig was amazing. It went really well, and I thought, honestly, I've nailed this. I've got this. I thought I was proper funny. People came up to me and said, "Oh my God, that was your first time. That was brilliant," etc., etc. I thought, here we go. Third time came around, and they always said you need one of your first 5 gigs to flop, because then you know how to take it and then you can move on from there. Well, gig number 3, I remember this, effectively a log cabin in Highgate. And it was effectively this log cabin at the back of a pub, quite full up. There was quite a few people there. It was what they call a bringer. So you have to bring someone along. That was your way of getting the gig for free and watching everyone else. You just got to bring a friend along to come and be a part of it. Very, very common in the stand-up game. I was sitting next to this guy. I brought a friend along as well. They were sitting the other side of me, chatting away to this guy, and it was his turn to go up. And he went up, and I was like, "Best of luck, go well, break a leg," as they say in theatre. But he went up, and honestly, it was so awkward. Every single joke he made, you only get 5 minutes. But this 5 minutes felt like 50, because every joke, there was no laughter whatsoever. I felt so sorry for him. The only laugh he got was his mate when the bloke came off the stage. It was just, when you're just like, you just want to put your arm around and go, "Sorry, mate. Like, that wasn't your night." He took it in good faith. He stayed. He had a giggle with everyone else. But again, me, because I was thinking about him and feeling sorry for him, when I went up on stage, I was a bit like, didn't really give it my all. I was a little bit like, what if that happened to me? And I got some laughs, but it didn't hit the note that I really wanted. And once I'd used up a few of my jokes, I always finish like your best joke at the start, or your second best joke at the start, and your best joke at the end. Always finish on a high type. And I had those set, and the middle bit I did my set, and I was a bit like, you know what, I'm going to try a few different things here. And so I tried making a few little on the spot jokes. Didn't really go to plan, and then I tried engaging the audience, and it wasn't really. It just didn't really go well. Like I said, I got a few laughs, so it wasn't worst in the world, but for me it was quite entertaining, but it's exhilarating. You get something completely new. You find out so much more about you. So if you are thinking about doing something new, go and do it. Just go and do it. Whether that's starting a business, whether that's a new hobby, whether that's, I'm going to say, dating. I'll do a whole episode on dating, I think, because it's just a minefield in your 30s. That's for another day, I think. That's for another day. But I think you get the gist of this podcast. It is going to be lighthearted. I'm going to make quite a few jokes throughout it. I'll bring on some special guests, People, hopefully I'll bring on some people that really inspire you, people who have made it. They've been through their 30s. There'll be entrepreneurs. There will be some coaches, some people who have gone and done some weird and wonderful things, but made the most of their 30s and where they are today, or at least made a change. Hopefully I will give you some inspiration, but the biggest thing is I want people to smile. I want people to be happy, and I want people to just become the best version of themselves that they can possibly become. So please, I'd love you to subscribe to this channel, this podcast, listening each week. There's going to be stuff that may not be relevant to you, but there will certainly be stuff that will be absolutely on point for you. Please subscribe. Please share it if you can, like it, whatever it is, just to help spread the word. I'm starting something brand new. I'm going for it. I'm going on a journey. Who knows where it's going to take me? You'll probably look at this first episode and go, oh wow, is that really the standard? By the end of my journey, you'll look at it and go, blimey, it's a professional sort of gig here. But hey, you know what? We'll have fun along the way. Come and join me for it. Let's build a community of people who are just reigniting their 30s, and they'll go from where you currently are, where you're surviving, to a point where you're thriving. And if we can do that, we're all winning. So come and be a part of the family. Guys, thank you so much for listening. I will release an episode every week. It'll be great to have you along next week. Please feel free to bring a friend, share it with someone. I'm sure someone can take some sort of value from this. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. Have a great week, and just be the best version of yourself that you can be.